All right. All right. It has been a minute since I've posted a video. It's been a while because I had to move. This is my new garage. I started a new job, and it's kind of been taking a lot of time. But it's a good job to kind of save up for the upcoming season and stack some cash. That way, the season comes and I don't really like working as much as I am now. I'll just quit and start snowboarding more. So also it is the off season, so not a lot of people are involved in snowboarding right now because there's no snow. But so I wanted to make a video today about some finds that I got. I think one I got on OfferUp and the other I got off on Facebook Marketplace. And there's one of them was a really good deal. The other one was, I think I overpaid just slightly for the damage, but it's a board that I had my eye on for a while that I've been wanting. And it's a cool little new profile to try out on an existing company that I really love, which is Arbor. But I finally got a full camber, well, not whatever they have, the parabolic camber that they have, which is pretty much full camber with a little bit of uprise fenders on it. I'll get into that a little bit later when I show you that board. But just kind of stoked on these two finds that I found and just wanted to make a video about it. Let you guys see that you guys can get some boards out there if you just look and put the time. So the first board that I got that was super cool, that was my best deal, is the Weston 10th Mountain Division collab board. I don't remember really exactly what basically base this model is. I feel like the profile is shaped to another board they have in their line, but this just happens to be the 10th Mountain Division collab. If you don't know about the 10th Mountain Division, the 10th Mountain Division is a division, I believe, of the Army. They were heavily involved, I believe, in World War II. I don't really know too much about the history too much, but I just know that it was a snow unit, and it kind of took guys that were skiing at the time, a lot of Colorado locals, a lot of people from around the U.S., but I believe predominantly a lot from Colorado. Anyway, it's not a history lesson on 10th Mountain Division. They were heavily involved in the war, and a lot of the guys, when they came back home, they kind of made the path for the ski industry that we know today. A lot of the ski resorts that are around the U.S. were founded by members of the 10th Mountain Division. I believe Breckenridge, Vail, I believe A Basin are some of the resorts that I know of that I believe for sure are founded by members that came home from the 10th Mountain Division. So this board's pretty cool because if you really think about it, without those guys, the ski industry, snowboard industry, resort-wise, and just in general as we know it, might not be the same today. So this is a pretty cool board to me. This board, check it out, is straight up brand new. It still has the freaking stickers on it. This is a 164. This board is going to be a gift, and for a big-footed rider, they have a size 13. But it's never been ridden. It has really good tech in it. It has some carbon. I think it has carbon going this way, right here underneath your foot on both sides. And then it has carbon, I think it has a carbon cross right here. And it's going to be fast. The base, I think, is a centered 4000 base, which is fast enough, very comparable to other boards that you would see. And it has a really nice side cut. I believe this is like a 9-meter plus side cut, like either it might be a different side cut in the middle. I think it's like 9.1, 8.9 in the middle, and in the back like around the same thing, 9.1. Just what that means is that this thing is gonna just really carve it up. It's a stiff free ride directional board that's really going to be really great in POW because it got this big huge nose. I believe it has a taper, a slight taper, and so that's going to make it really good for POW because the nose is going to be a little bit longer. It's a full camber from contact point to contact point, but it has a big old swooping nose, so it's just going to be really good for those super deep days, especially for my bud that's pretty big, and this is just going to be another board that he can put in his quiver. But with that side cut, the stiffness, The fast base, you're gonna have a really, the taper, you're gonna have a really nice carver on your hands for groomers as well. So this board is definitely for an advanced rider. I'm not gonna say it's advanced riders only. You think you can handle it, you know, jump on a board with these kind of same specs. I think you can if you just put the time in. It's nothing to really be overwhelmed by if you just kind of know your ability level and you're ready for that next step. But this board just in general was just a solid find because I believe this board has the price tag, yeah, $599 brand new, and I got it for $120. So I mean, I don't really think you can beat those kinds of deals. They only come in every now and then. So I was super stoked when I found this. I'm excited to maybe ride this once before I give it to my friend, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to let him have it, and then I'm going to ask to borrow it so I can kind of get a little bit more in-depth review. And in that review, I'll get all the specs down and all the tech and all that kind of stuff of what it is, and let you guys know if this is a sick board or not. But I'm pretty sure I would love this board, and I'm pretty sure he's going to love this board as well. The other board that I got, I think I paid $130 for this. I believe this is a 2017 or 2014. I really can't remember. This is a Arbor Zygote Twin, and what this is this was bought to be my first camber version of Arbor board I've ever had, and two, to kind of replace my Arbor Coda that I have. I was going to use my Brian Iguchi Pro that I have, a 159, to replace that, but you know, I just love that board so much. Brian Iguchi's like one of my favorite snowboarders. I bought that board because it was his pro model, and I just, you know, I don't really think I want to mess it up. It's a board that I want to ride so badly, but at the same time, I don't want to mess that board up. So I bought this board, which is cool because it has damage to it right here at the top. They repaired it. Looks like they might have ran into a tree, you know, ran into a pole, ran into in the park, something. It's pretty minor. It's on the nose right here, and that's not going to affect any kind of presses or anything because they did a really good job. Solid. I'm not worried about it. If it broke, if something happened, it chipped off, you know, I think I paid $130 for this board, which in my opinion is a little bit higher than I would have wanted to pay. But again, I just wanted this board so badly. I really like the top sheet. There's another top sheet that was really cool. They had a specific year model that was pretty sick. But this one I like as well. And so what this is this is not a directional twin. I believe this is a true twin, but it has the nose shape, and then in the tail, it has a different shape. And it's more of like a skateboard tail shape, which I think is pretty sick. Probably come in handy for like tail butters, and that big flat surface is going to be good for tail butters. But it is through and through a true twin with just different shapes on the nose and the tail, which I thought was pretty interesting. So I'm pretty curious to see how this thing rides, because honestly, with this type of nose and this type of tail, I feel like if I set my stance back on deep days, that this board actually probably would be kind of sick for powder. You know, I don't think it would be too crappy at all, the way this rocker is on this tail. Has a big, you know, swooping rocker on that tail. So I honestly think this thing's going to be kind of sick for some powder. So I can't wait to try it. Again, with Arbor boards, they all feature the Grip Tech, which is an extra contact point right here behind your heel and your front of your foot. So you got one, two, well, let's do it like this. 1 contact point, 2 contact point, 3 contact point, 4 contact point on both sides. So I don't need to talk about Arbor bases because I've already said that they're pretty fast. Every Arbor base I've ever had is pretty fast. Pretty sure this is a centered base. It might be an extruded, which is just kind of like a more durable base. It's not as fast as centered bases, but it's a little bit more durable because you can repair it a little bit easier. Not necessarily in general are like clear bases like this, extruded, but for the most part I've seen extruded bases tend to be this clear kind of base with an image underneath it. So that's what kind of makes the base look like that. So it's just clear with an image underneath, as opposed to an actual like die cut base on a centered base on some of my boards. So I'm pretty sure this is centered though. Again, when I ride it, I'll do a full review, let you know. you know, if this board rips or not, but I'm pretty sure this board's going to be cool. I had an old pair of some Nitro Team bindings that I did get to try out last season, which these are good bindings. You know, I've had, I think, 3 pairs of Nitros, and in general, I think they're good bindings. They're nothing that ever blew me away. The ratchets work really well. The binding itself works really well. They're supposed to have some, I'll do an in-depth review too on the Nitro bindings. On the footbeds, they have this airbag technology that's supposed to be really good for like landing, soaking up a lot of chatter. Just in general, are going to help your knees if you do some large drops and stuff like that. So, you know, again, I'll go into depth about when I do an actual review. The only thing I've ever noticed that I didn't like about Nitro bindings is on the ladders, these things, these plastic things right here. I tend to really strap down my bindings, especially on my ankle and on my toes, and in general, a lot of the time I tend to strip a lot of ladders, which again, I'm not going to fault that to Nitro bindings and their materials. I've just noticed that I tend to strip their ladders a little bit faster than other companies, and that is all on me because I do like that really snug feel on my heel straps and toes. So they also used to have an older ratchet that had 2 teeth. Kind of show you right here in this little dial thing that actually makes the ratchet climb on the strap on the ladder. It was split and it had 2 teeth and it would climb individually. And when I had those pair, I think they were called like the Nitro Zeros or something like that, I stripped those crazy fast. So that kind of turned me off from Nitro bindings. But some dude was selling these. I got these for like $60, and all I had to do was replace. I had to replace something minor. I think I just ordered some new actual ladders for one of the toes on one of the bindings. Oh, and I replaced the high backs. So these were actually originally, these are just the Nitro Teams, and I put the Nitro Team Pro high backs on them. So because the other high back was missing the forward lean function that would keep the binding, the high back in the position you wanted to. One of them was broke, so that's why I had to repair it and put new high backs on it. But other than that, you know, I'm stoked to try this board, and I think these bindings are going to go really well with this board, because this was more of like a softer camber flex, and these bindings are more for like a all mountain. Can be used definitely. These are like Marcus Cleveland's bindings, so I mean that just goes to, like, they can rip. You can do whatever you want on them. Like Marcus Cleveland's doing crazy shit, super high speeds, super huge jumps. So there's no way I'm going to tell you these bindings suck. Like, that's dumb. But I think there'll be a good combination for this board with these bindings. So I just wanted to make a video on some finds that I got, and you know, remind you guys that if you keep looking, you can find some good stuff. So keep your eyes open. Super excited for this upcoming season out here in Colorado. Let me know in the comments if you're excited about, you know, my finds, if you found some good deals, and questions about the boards. I can try to get more in detail and more technical with you guys. If you really want to know specifics, I don't mind looking all that stuff up and letting you know in the comments. And I hope you guys have a good season. I'm ready to get out there.